Good evening, I'm Katie Cook. Kentucky State Police are searching for a woman missing in Harlan County. Troopers say 23-year-old LaQuisha Estes of Lynch was the last seen on May 7th around 11 that night. She was reported missing after not showing up for her shift at Pizza Hut the next day. The investigation into her disappearance is ongoing, and anyone with information about LaQuisha or where she could be is asked to contact Kentucky State Police. Well, experts say extensive testing, social distancing, and contact tracing are essential for safely reopening the nation's economy. And with unemployment levels close to 15% and rising, members of the Trump administration are looking at more ways to intervene. CBS News correspondent Nicole Killian has the latest from the White House.
New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio is more than doubling the number of city workers deployed as social distancing ambassadors to more than 2,000.
We're going to increase intensely the number of public servants who are out there educating, providing face coverings, reminding people of the rules, helping people to get it right.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says his state could have what he calls a massive contact tracing effort up and running in the next few weeks.
In order to reopen businesses, in order for people to feel confident, we have to make sure that we're constantly growing those efforts.
Even with states working on reopening plans, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett says by June, unemployment could reach 20%, levels not seen since the Great Depression.
We understand why the economy is slowing down, and we expect that we can reverse it. Whereas in the Depression, there were a lot of other things, a lot of policy errors and so on that made the whole thing drag out.
Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin says the White House is considering a number of options, including another round of stimulus checks.
The president has said and wants to make sure before we rush back and do the next bill and spend more taxpayer money, we just want to be thoughtful.
After coming into contact with people at the White House who tested positive for COVID-19, 3 coronavirus task force members have placed themselves in quarantine. Dr. Anthony Fauci is said to be at relatively low risk based on the nature of his exposure. He has tested negative and will be tested regularly. Also quarantining are CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield and FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Dr. Anthony Fauci and Admiral Brett Giroir, who was forced out as the president's coronavirus testing czar, were both scheduled to testify in person at a Senate hearing on Tuesday. Now they will testify remotely. Restrictions put in place to prevent the spread of COVID-19 have affected pretty much everyone. But one couple in Lexington who have been together for 40 years now have to be apart. Harold Spurlock is just one of thousands who can't see someone they love in the hospital because of COVID-19. Spurlock's wife is in the hospital, and he says all he wants to do is see her.
I've been over there twice. I might have even offered going on my pride to let me, but that didn't work either.
Dr. Stephen Stack says restrictions from state officials will change Wednesday to allow 1 visitor per patient. However, hospitals and healthcare facilities are able to continue to limit contact with patients. A Jessamine County church that sued Governor Andy Beshear this week held in-person services today. It's the first time Tabernacle Baptist Church in Nicholasville has opened its doors since a federal judge struck down the state's ban on those services. Olivia Russell was there.
Eager churchgoers filed into Tabernacle Baptist Church Sunday morning, celebrating the Lord and a victory over Governor Andy Beshear in federal court. The church's legal team claimed Beshear's order to prohibit in-person church services unlawfully targets religious groups. They also said it's a violation of the First Amendment right to freedom of religion and freedom of assembly. Attorney General Daniel Cameron joined the lawsuit just days before the ruling came down. The judge granted the church's request for a temporary restraining order, which applies to all churches in Kentucky. The judge said people must practice social distancing and health guidelines set out by the CDC. A representative for the Nicholasville church said they are committed to complying with that order, and it was clear as churchgoers wore masks as they walked in the door. And just because churches can reopen this week doesn't mean they actually will. We talked to many that say they're still waiting until Governor Beshear's original reopen date, which was May 20th.
And we must make sure that any house of worship is ready. even just the cleaning that's required is more significant than is done just about anywhere else.
While Bashir knows he can't stop people from gathering for in-person services, he's urging people to wait and create a thorough plan before they come together. In Nicholasville, Olivia Russell, WKYT.
Tabernacle Baptist Church is still streaming services live on Facebook for people who are not attending the in-person services. Well, we had a beautiful afternoon today for our Sunday on our Mother's Day. I mean, we saw those nice warm temperatures and just these beautiful mix of sun and clouds in the sky. Let me take you to a couple of our cameras so you can see that. Here we are at Stonecrest Golf Course, and you can see that nice mix of sun and clouds. It was absolutely beautiful out there. If there were any golf moms taking tea time today, they probably had a great time because it was just so nice outside. And here in Hazard, you can see very similar conditions. I mean, just those puffy cumulus clouds really making it nice and picture perfect. But these temperatures a lot warmer than we were yesterday. Remember, yesterday we only got into those 50s, so it was a little bit on the chillier side, but now we were in those mid 60s as we headed into today. So we really were anywhere from about 7 to 14 degrees warmer than we were yesterday. So a lot of us seeing that nice warmer weather, but now we are going to start to see some rain chances across our region here within the next couple of hours. So we are going to be needing to stay inside for the next couple of hours because we're going to be seeing these rain chances, but they don't look to stick around too long. You can see really by around 10 o'clock they start to decline and move out of our area, and then we see dry conditions once again. Katie? All right, thank you, Brooke. This Mother's Day might be a little untraditional due to the coronavirus pandemic, but Manchester Baptist Church in Clay County still wanted to honor moms this morning. WYMT's Dakota Makris stopped by the drive-in service and has more.
A beautiful spring day and cars honking their horns, ready to celebrate all moms Sunday morning with a drive-in service.
Really the best we can do right now because things have changed so quickly. We just weren't ready to reopen and have services in the church building this morning.
But not being able to hold services inside Sunday morning did not stop them from celebrating moms.
We can still honor mothers, and families can still get together to honor mothers. And so it is what it is, and thank God for mothers and thank God for church.
Kelly McFall and her family attend Manchester Baptist Church.
Thank God for mothers.
She spends this Mother's Day listening to the sermon with her family.
Just the hugs and the smiles and the I love yous from the kids. It's probably my favorite.
McFall thinks of her mom during this Mother's Day.
She is a seamstress, and she just makes the wonderful quilts and is just a wonderful mom. Very creative, very funny.
The church usually gives away flowers to the oldest mom, the youngest mom, and the mom with the most children with her.
Her children rise up and call her blessed.
But this Mother's Day, they gave flowers to all moms as a thank you.
This year we said we're just going to give everyone a little flower to show our appreciation.
These car horns echo throughout our mountains as a thank you to every mom. In Clay County, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now moms could pick up the flowers outside the church building after the service, and the church will continue with drive-in services through May and plans to offer in-person services during the last 2 Sundays in June. Former U-Pikes women's basketball coach Joanna McNamee is making some waves in the ACC as the Boston College women's basketball head coach. McNamee took over the program 2 years ago and has hit the ground running. This past season, her team broke a school record for wins in the ACC. The team was hoping for an NCAA tournament bid, but those dreams were halted due to COVID-19. But McNamee's hard work has not gone unnoticed. She was named ACC Coach of the Year in March, and she says this award would not have been possible without her team and coaching staff.
Yeah, winning that award was very humbling, and it's still really hard for me to believe, but like I told our players and our staff, that is truly an award that just says that they were the ACC Team of the Year, and we were really the ACC Coaching Staff of the Year. That you never get an award like that from your singular contribution. So that was really a team award that I was really happy with.
Camille Gear will have much more on this tonight at 11. Well, Mountain View Wildlife in Perry County rehabilitates animals, and not just your average dog or cat. WYMT's Madison program has more on their newest animal.
We take in deer, possum.
That is just a few of the animals cared for at Mountain View Wildlife Rehabilitation.
Rabbits, we've raised bunnies this year. We do tons of squirrels, a lot of squirrels, but basically any mammal.
But their newest addition, a nearly 7-day-old fawn.
This is baby season. We specialize in deer, and we raise them until they're releasable.
Beth Vaughn, the owner, says that process takes nearly 180 days.
We make sure they're hydrated. We feed them unflavored Pedialyte throughout the day. When it's pretty like this, we take them outside, get them some sunshine.
And it does not stop there. The work continues as they feed the animals up to 4 times a day.
We make sure they have the right probiotics, the right fats, calories, things specific for this species.
Vaughn's love for animals, which formed at an early age, makes it worth it.
Because these are so hard to raise. Wild animals are nearly impossible. So when we successfully raise them from baby to adulthood and see them go into the wild, it's happy tears.
No matter how big the challenge, it is all done in a labor of love. In Perry County, Madison Program, WYMT Mountain News.
Vaughn has a permit through the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife to do this type of work. We have how you can help Mountain View Wildlife Rehabilitation care for their wildlife on our website at WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News Weekend Edition, find out how local artists are adjusting to working in the COVID-19 outbreak.
And we are tracking the rain showers currently moving across our region. I'll have more details on that next.